Warning, this is not intended to diagnose, treat, or prescribe any disease, disability, or disorder you might have. Please do two things before putting any of the information in this video to use. As this is not medical advice, it is only pure information, and I'm never going to claim I'm a doctor or claim to prescribe anything, as I am not about I try to be as little about quackery as possible. 1. Consult your healthcare professional and make sure you get both their consent and willingness to work with you. If you don't, then never go any further past this warning. 2. For those who listen and acquire their healthcare professional's consent and willingness to work with you, get allergy and sensitivity tested for any and all of the foods, substances, supplements, or extracts I may refer to. If you don't heed these warnings, follow these two pieces of medical advice, I will not be responsible for any of your actions. You have been thoroughly warned, and you have been advised. Don't try this shit at home. Take care. On to the video. Alright guys. What do you do? What's weight loss tips? Because look, I went from 2011, I was fucking almost 290, over 280, almost 290. I had fat fuckalitis. I could almost do this with my man titties. Almost hold them like this. That's not good. That's pretty fat. That's ugly. It's fat as fuck. And it's dangerous. It'll kill you. How dare you fat shame? Fuck off, man. Come on. Let's be realistic. Having pride and no. That's not body positivity is not celebrating someone who's fat and lazy as fuck. I get there's some degree of what's called fat shaming. Like in my case, a lot of my weight gain is because of fucking big pharma antipsychotics. Because I'm autistic. I was put on that shit a lot as a kid. Big pharma antipsychotics. I'm sure my parents didn't help in that equation fucking either. So, you know what I mean. Psychoanalysis is alright. But, you know. My mother was involved in that shit. My dad was off working all the time. I only started getting to know him after the boulder landed on him from his chest down. But that's not the point. So I get there's some degree of fat shaming legitimacy in the concept of fat shaming. Don't get me wrong. I think people just abuse the fuck out of it. Now it's just a loose term that when people get ass hurt from being called fat, just throw out as a, you fat shaming bastard. Drop my fucking, oh well. Now back. I had to finish that retardation up. Clean this stove. Oh, baby. But yeah, that's why. It's been abused and overused and misused. Now it's become a loose term for people to get ass hurt for getting called fat, or don't like fat joke. Fuck you, I like fat jokes. I was a fat fuck. But I understand there's legitimacy to it, or if you're in Boogie 2988's case, fucking sick, lymphedema, and stuffed down depression because his mother was a fucking psycho bitch. He said this on his Draw My Life. There are people out there who don't even watch that and try to roast him or hate on him. I was like, yeah, fat man, nah. I haven't seen other YouTubers I like shit talking him on Twitter like fucking faggots. And by faggot, I'm equating them to bundles of fucking firewood when they do that, because that's pretty dickish. I ain't putting no names out there, but you get my point. There is legitimacy to the fat shaming claim. There is legitimacy to it, but when you get ass hurt from fat jokes and fat wisecracks, and you use it so much, you make it no one take you seriously. So stop throwing it out there. Stop using it every time you get ass hurt from somebody calling you a fat fuck. Learn, just grow some skin. That's all I'm telling you. I had to. And I'm somebody with Asperger's. And we tend to have overly active, very overpowered, oversensitive emotional stimuli. That's a fucking god! Okay, but the fat loss in itself. The fat loss in itself. What are some tips? Well, from being almost 290 to now being 194, 195, 196, and that 194 to 196 range. That's not bad. It's pretty decent. From 2011 to now. Slower than snail ship that got it done. I don't have diabetes. I don't have as much of a fat fuckolitis issue anymore. So, what's the deal that can be done? Well, eat balanced. If you're going to be, like, there's a owndoc.com page I'll link you to about acidity versus alkalinity dietary myth. It's a dietary myth that's used by a lot of herbalists and other people, even ones I like to follow because they make good content about stuff like health and stuff. I still have this little problem. That's not fucking accurate. Your body does it itself. But giving your body the nutrients it needs all across the board allows it to keep itself adjusting its own pH. It's one of the biggest diet myths that still it's making my head hurt right now. My head's actually hurting from remembering this. Shit. So, what do? Simple. If you want, get low glycemic all across the board. Don't have to be low carb, but you gotta be low glycemic. You ain't gotta be a low carb diet. You can be like the blue zones all across the board, or you can be a carnivorous as long as the meat is clean and it has omega-3s in it, and you eat a lot of seafood every fucking day, or every few times a week minimum. And you take some plant polyphenol and omega-3 supplements on the side, and you make sure your fucking animal food's clean. It's not like factory farm bullshit. But if you're largely plant-based, still add a little animal food nutrient to it. And if you're going to take any carnosine, you're better off supplementing with the shit because it doesn't stay in your system as long. It's better off in supplementary form. And honestly, I think you can get natural B12, natural vitamin K2, MK4, and stuff like that. Collagen, gelatin, and carnosine, these vitamins and minerals, vitamins and proteins and other anti-inflammatory compounds out of slaughterhouse waste in a sustainable manner. I think you can do it. I mean, it's not one of the most pleasant. It's one of the most appetizing methods, but you ain't gonna know. You ain't gonna taste it. And it cleans up a lot of bad waste. So anyway. And if you're going to do anything like, if you're gonna eat breakfast, make sure breakfast isn't there's a lot of cultures out there for thousands of years have not eaten breakfast. Breakfast is more of a modern thing. Food storage wasn't as widespread as it has been in the last couple hundred years. So, yeah. You do need to consider, if you do eat breakfast, make sure you exercise before eating breakfast. Because that wakes your metabolism up pretty well. Don't drink anything but purified water before exercising. Don't drink no coffee. Don't not know anything. And when you do this, make sure that you exercise, walking and do some push-ups or something like that, a little yoga, basic Tai Chi, stuff to keep you flexible before eating breakfast. And if you don't eat breakfast and you do the Blue Zones method of eating breakfast of a king, lunch of a prince, supper of a pauper kind of size portioning in the meals. When you exercise and you want to do intermittent fasting, there's an easy way of doing it. Eat your supper early. Eat it low glycemic. Eat it satisfying as fuck. Don't eat anything else. Just drink you some water. Or drink you some green tea like I brewed in the Okinawan sense. And you sweeten it. No raw honey. Just use straight up stevia. And then like the pure stevia, sweet leaf stevia, or the and spelled Pyure, by the way, and then or the Splenda Naturals, the new stevia, pure stevia product they got now. It's really good too. I give it a try. I mean, if your doctor's okay with it and you don't have no reactions to any of that stuff in that plant genus or family, there you go. So, anyways, if you on the intermittent fast, you eat supper early, make sure you're satisfied, good, and your stomach's 80% full, whatever. And then when you go to sleep, you drink the water or tea with stevia only, no glycemic low. And then you wake up the next morning, you don't eat no breakfast, you do the exercises and stuff, and then you eat your brunch. It's not as big as the Supper of Kings, but still a little bit bigger than the lunch of princes. And there you go. And that's 2 to 3 times a week. I do that at times. I do intermittent fasting. It's not that hard, actually. It's not that bad. If anything, I'll probably take me some goji berries, you better. I think technically, based on the research and Gundry's reason, you're better off taking the fruit juice, fermenting it down with probiotic bacteria, and then lightly alkalizing it with baking soda, potassium bicarbonate mix, and then dehydrating that to powder. And do the same thing with the goji berry pulp, fruit pulp, and then making an extract of it. After doing the same 2 steps there. That's low lectins, high nutrient replacement for goji berries. And also, when you eat beans, you need to do that pre-soaking method. Do a 12-hour soak in purified water and probiotic cultures, such as homemade sauerkraut brine juice or kefir whey or yogurt whey. Does the trick. Rinse them off, use more purified water, cover them again, soak for another 12 hours, and put baking soda in it. Why? It's very simple. It reduces lectins. They'll be eliminated by the time you ideally pressure cook them some bitches. Why? Very simple. Pressure cooking preserves the most nutrients and kills the most lectins compared to these methods. And phytates too. So you might get gut inflammation by consuming these anti-nutrients. It's very possible. And Dr. Gundry emphasizes on reducing lectins, eating seafood, increasing your polyphenol intake, eating fruits when they're in season. Also, only treat when you eat fruits. Get the real dark, colorful, vibrant colored fruits and treat them like candy. Now, if you eat whole grains like wheat, or let's say make your own oats, you need to pre-soak them with probiotic-containing cultures. And when you cook, like I do a combination of grits and quinoa. I soak the fuck out of my quinoa, even the sprouted shit. Now I cook it for about 7-8 minutes, and add the quick cooking grits to it, and make sure it's a little bit over 5 cups of water. So when it boils down, when it comes to a boil, and it's cooked for that amount of time, and then I add the quick cooking grits in for another 7 minutes. That's all 15 minutes need to cook the quinoa, and then the grits are finished with it at the same time. It's quinoa and grits. Great breakfast, some grass-fed butter, and seasoned just a little chia seeds sprinkled in for me. I like it. Or I just use grass-fed butter, or I use grass-fed cheese if I can get it, and some bacon fat. It's just baby. It works for me. Now see an idea for the grits. Same thing if you do oatmeal for homemade oatmeal. Or pre-soak it before dehydrating it to make instant oatmeal for that in jars. That's another tip. That's to reduce lectins while still eating the grains. Get rid of phytates too, so you get the nutrients out of them. Another thing, get you some vitamin K2 down your system. While I don't approve of a lot of Weston A. Price's quack dentistry ideas he proposed and were practiced, and others and follow him did and do, his discovery of vitamin K2 as activator X and talked about making connections of nutrient deficiencies and many a disease was still good. That's good work. Those are the two things he did that was worth a shit. So yeah. Hope you enjoyed the diet tips for those who are doing fad diets and shit. Before trying them, go to your fucking healthcare professional. Get allergy tested if you get both their consent. They're willing to work with you in guidance. It's all or nothing at all. And then get allergy tested after you get all three. Take care, folks. See you around. Hope you enjoyed the video.